bathrooms here. I think we can get started. Everyone's waiting on me.
Brother.
Hey, Derek, how's the transition going with the new scheme, new offense? How's it going?
It's been great. It's a lot of similarities, just word-wise, verbiage-wise. So that's always easier on players because it's faster for us to learn. Whenever the picture is two different words in your brain, that usually takes a little bit longer, but that part has helped. It's been a lot of fun. These guys are awesome. You see why, again, they've had so much success no matter where the scheme has been run. There's been a lot of success everywhere. So it's been a lot of fun and just been working extremely hard at it. Learned from last year, obviously going through that process, and learning this one this year. Found some ways to do it better or more efficient and learn faster, and so it's been good.
Derek, what does listen to your feet mean?
Listen to your feet. Your feet tell you everything. You saw the shirts, and
yeah.
Everyone's, I don't even know, they probably talk about it all the time, but for the quarterbacks, just listening to your feet, not being late on certain things, and staying true to your progressions and all those things. So for us, footwork's a big deal. The details in this system are very important for the quarterback position and how they see things and how they view things, and it's really exciting for me. This level of detail is exciting because when you're held to that standard, usually as a professional, you play to that standard. So I'm excited about these coaches because they hold us to it every single day. It's cool.
One thing offense in 3 years. What's different about learning this compared to the last couple of years?
I've at this point, I've had the opportunity to learn a lot of football, and I think it's a blessing because you get to learn and your knowledge and growth in so many areas. But this one for me with Clint and Janoke has just felt good. It's just felt right, and for me personally, it's something that you watch from afar and you're like, man, that'd be so fun to be a part of, and so I think just skill set wise and the guys we have and myself included, just how we fit into what we're going to be asked to do. I'm just excited about that. I'm sitting there watching the film, getting excited, because it's going to, like I said before, it's going to look different, for our fans that have, seen a certain way for a long time, but I think it's good. It's exciting.
One thing we're assuming that means back with San Francisco, how do you think what the Saints, what you guys have on offense, can translate from what San Fran had on offense?
Yeah, so it's a mixture, It's a mixture of some different things with the voices and, the people in the room and their experiences, right? And, when it's your show, it's always a little bit different than where you came from. And so, for me, I think just for the players in our room, it translates really well. There's certain concepts that we started, doing late last season and that carry over into what we're doing now, and I thought we were really good at them with the kind of guys that we have. So, again, doesn't guarantee anything, but it's exciting to see and to know that we have some experience at doing that well.
And one thing we've heard about is shorter play calls, less verbiage in the system. How does that affect you as a quarterback? Is that helpful to just kind of get things communicated?
It helps us play faster. It helps us mentally. Everyone's going to play faster. This, as I've learned in my 11 years, like the quarterback or the coach or certain position group can know so much, but it's like, what can we all handle? Because it's the ultimate team game, right? What is best for all of us? And taking that sophistication and going like this with it and marrying, it's like they've done a beautiful job of doing that. And that's, again, when you get around them, you're like, I see why. As you keep learning in this game, you see why they've had success and why guys can come in and have great years and at different positions, and they can plug guys in and they play well, and a lot of that starts making sense, I guess, when you see that part of it.
How much you talked a couple times now, including just there, about like having seen this offense and the success it's had. Like, is there a level just like of excitement with the guys just about what this can be now that you're kind of in it and this is yours now?
Yeah, I think there is excitement, absolutely. The cool part about this time is we're all learning together, and there's something about going through it together. Like last year, I'm the guy learning everything new, I'm trying to play catch up while everyone's helping me. But the cool part about this is we're all starting over, and then I feel more of that leadership, that coaching role now, and so that excitement of, no, it's like this and that, but when you do something like that together, that brotherhood and that unity, it gets even tighter. And I think that's the exciting part for us, is that we're going through it together. We're making the mistakes, we're learning, we're doing things together. So I think with that said, that brings more excitement too. Again, you watch the film and you're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. But the excitement is the process of doing it to hope that we can make the cut up look like that too.
And this might be like a really simplistic question, but like now that you've been in it a little bit, like why do you think this offense has had so much success?
Everything looks the same, to the defense. And coaches do a great job of making sure, hey, run, play action, pass, screen, everything looks the same, and it's a lot of moving parts. And so, and that's, just really, whoever started it and whoever's been coaching it, tip of the hat to them, because they do a fantastic job of making things look alike. And they could give you the playbook, but you don't know which one they're calling, And so I think that makes it really hard on the defense, and schematically for coordinators, So I just think that part to me has been really impressive, how everything looks the same. When the run game guy and the pass game guy are on the same page, and everyone's speaking the same, one voice, and it's one philosophy, and it's one. That right there breeds confidence in us as players that they're going to, put us in positions to have success.
How much do you kind of look forward?
Sorry.
You talked about it. You had to. Everybody's learning it at the same time now. Chemistry was a big thing last year. How much does this learning experience, this collective, really build the chemistry a lot faster than it may have last year? Yeah, we are. I told my wife this. I was like, she asked me, "How's everything going?" Just a couple weeks ago, and I said, "We're so far ahead of where we were last year. Just as a team, just as a group of guys. I mean, again, we're going through this process together. So I mean, we're having guys over at our house. We're not trying to find a house. Guys are coming over to the house. We're having dinner. We're hanging out. We're going to their house. Wives are getting together. I mean, there's just so much more of that going on that we're so far ahead, because while we're doing that, we're talking about, hey, what's this? What's the step on this? What's my foot on this? What are you thinking? I'm at this landmark. We're all trying to learn it and grow and do it together. And so I always believe if you want to go far, you got to do it together. And so I think that's the fun part about this year, that we are learning something new, and yes, it's very mentally taxing to do that, but when you're all doing it together, it's cool how you can come together and do stuff like that.
What are your initial thoughts just on the quarterback room you're in this year? With Hayner and Rattler and obviously Peterman as well.
They are, the two young guys have been unbelievable, asking questions, learning and growing, and I'm just trying to do my best to help them as much as I can while I'm getting ready myself, And I told them, I was like, I'm an open book, whatever I can do to ever help you guys. But I think the personalities are unbelievable, in our room. Nate, I've played with Nate. I've been in the room with Nate. I know how Nate operates. I know how Nate prepares. He is the ultimate professional, and I think that's why coaches love him and players love him that have played with him, because he's the ultimate pro. He's going to do everything in his power to do things right. Great teammate, great leader, encouraging, helping guys on the side, stuff no one will see, but he's there, he's doing it, he's a coach, and he's, the benefit he has to me just in a game week is, really been second to none. The amount of work he puts in to help me, he was always awesome at that. And then Spencer and Jake, just watching those two young guys, they're just starting. I was sitting next to Spencer, he's like, "What year is this?" I was like, "It's 11." He goes, I was like, "What were you doing 11 years ago?" He said, "I was 12." So I was like, "Bro, anything I can ever do to help you." And he knows this. I've told him on the phone. I called him after he was drafted. I said, anything I can ever do to see you just have the life and career you ever could dream of, I'm here for you. And he's been asking questions. That's the one thing I love. He's hungry, to learn. He's hungry to understand. Hey, I saw that. What was that? All that kind of stuff. So anyway, I love our room, and it's been a lot of fun watching just in this. I know it's one practice, but we've been together, for a while now. So it's been fun to grow and, help teach those guys. Well, then go out here and do a rep, show them, and be like, see, that's what I'm talking about with the eyes, or that kind of stuff. So it's been a lot of fun.
Derek, what was it like for you, rookie year to year two? What you think Jake might be going through? Is it a little bit easier?
Yeah, the game slows down so much. Yes, the game definitely slows down. You know where to stand in the stretch line. You know what to do for the meal time. It's like stuff you don't even think about because you've been at the same college forever. But when you get out here, especially when you're around guys again that've been here 10 years, 14 years, like Cam. It can be intimidating your first year because you don't want to do anything wrong. But I think his mental capacity. He obviously has the physical talent to be a great quarterback. And anyone going from year one to year two, I expect to see jumps in those guys, and they'll do a fantastic job. But Jake has done an absolutely wonderful job, and now he's learning a new system. And he's obviously asking me questions. How did you how do you do this? His whole rookie year was one thing, now it's something different. And so just giving him tips and stuff on that, but he's ahead because he's been in it a little bit.
How much has the speed really shown with the new offense, the ability to get in and out of the huddle and to execute the plays? How much has that really shown in day one?
Yeah, day one it's definitely emphasized. We can still be better at it. We're getting in our football shape now. We're in condition to come out here and run all day, but football shape is different. We got to get in our football shape and be better at that, so we can put stress on the defense with, again, showing them the same look but quicker, and then doing something different. Doing all that kind of stuff. So you could feel it. You could feel the energy from the coaches, and they even said they're going to be even harder about that right there tomorrow, and it's just going to continually push us in the right direction.
Speaking of coaches, what were your first thoughts about Clint Kubiak, and what really verified to you how much he was the right hire for this job?
Yeah, I got to, I don't remember when it was, but when I just talking to him, and just for the first however many minutes we talked, it was just about who he was as a person, who I was as a person, our families, what he's about, and all this kind of stuff, and you begin to realize just the great family that he came from. We talked about we asked fun questions in quarterback. If you could play golf with anybody in the world, and everyone's saying Tiger, whoever, everyone's saying whatever, and then he gets up and says, my dad and my brothers. Like, you can tell a man loves his family and was raised a good way if that's his answer, and that's just him. And so I've thoroughly enjoyed him as a person, and as a coach, he's been awesome. Every time I do something, whether it's great, whether it's not great, he's on me about every detail, just being excellent, and he's so encouraging at the same time. Coach Gruden was that way, with being able to demand, but also making you feel great at the same time. He had a funny way about how to do that, and I think Clint has that too.
Have you gotten a chance to sit down with Gary at all? I saw you yesterday.
I did. I got to say hi to him. I remember seeing him when I was a kid, but I said hi to him for a little bit, but I can't wait to sit down and ask him some fun questions about especially this system and all that. But yeah.
Derek, Ty had said earlier that one of DA's first messages to you all this offseason was just, we just need to keep our head down and work.
Yes. Don't
worry about expectations outside the building. I mean, what's been the theme, I guess, from him to you all?
Yeah.
The message this offseason.
It's been exactly that, and us as players is just like, last year we were so excited, everyone was so excited, but we really didn't show why we were so excited until it was too late,
Right.
And so for us, you get humbled a little bit. You go 9-8, and it's like, that's unacceptable for what we have in that room, and so take a step back and you put everything in perspective, and you're like, hey, yes this, yes that, but what can we do this year? And it's just, let's just keep our mouth shut, keep our head down. It's okay to be excited, but talking about and all that kind of stuff, it really doesn't matter, as we all know. Like, that stuff don't matter. So for us, it's just, we're going to work. We know the work we've put in. We know the extra work. That was another thing. DA said, he asked Cam, he asked me, he asked how many Super Bowls you guys got? None. He's like, then I need more. He goes to the young guys, how many you got? Obviously they got none. He's like, well, I need more. And so since we got here day one, whenever that was, April, whatever, we have been giving more every day. What does that look like? Man, more study time, grabbing the young guys, teaching them, getting them up on the board, more time in the weight room, extra runs, extra throws. We're just trying to do more so that when we get back out there on the field, we can make our fans proud, and they can be proud of the football that they see on tape, because last year it was not good enough. And that starts with, me as a person. I won't speak for him, but that starts with me personally. It's just not good enough, no matter what or why. It doesn't matter. It wasn't good enough. And so we've just been really focused on making sure we're doing more now. Not talking about it, we're just doing the work, so that when we come, back after training camp, we make our fans proud with the image of football that they see.
The expectations that are there are fairly low, I think, outside the building. I mean, does that matter to you all? Do you care?
No. I've been on teams where that was the case, and that was our best team. And then you come in and you play good football, and you just try and string days together. And so, as we all know, like the preseason, we think the Saints are here, or this position group is this or that. It's like it literally doesn't matter. We get to put the ball down, and that's the exciting part about this game, is you always get another chance. Not every time, but this group of guys will get another chance to put that ball down and be like, this is what Saints football is this year. And so that part we're excited for. But again, we're trying to stay locked in, and just the process, and just the the misery of the work. As Gruden would always tell me, he's like, you gotta love the misery. And so he would always tell me, you love to be miserable. I was like, I really don't, but just,
Maybe you do.
but just that mindset, of choosing to be okay in that atmosphere. They tried to kick our butt, they're trying to kick our butt out here. I threw 2 of the worst out routes of my life because I was so tired. They're trying to kick our butt, make it hard in that moment so that when you get to team, it's like, oh my gosh, I feel great, And so we're just trying to stress that to where the games are, again, what we want them to be.
Derek, do you feel you're a step ahead? I know you got a new OC and everything, but this is your second year with the organization. You feel like a little, I don't know if comfortable is the right word or not.
Yeah, again, comfortable is like a tricky word for me, but I feel good. I do feel ahead. I feel ahead with my teammates. I feel ahead as a leader. I feel ahead. We've done some really cool things, not even like in the building, but just stuff outside the building together. Like I feel great there. Some teammates, we've done some really cool things for some people in the community here that no one's going to hear about, but we've had the bond to where in the relationship to go do those things and go bless certain communities and go do certain things. And so I just love that because that was my dream from the beginning. I just didn't know how hard it was going to be to find a church, find a school, find a house, make sure my wife's okay. She doesn't have any friends out here yet. It's like I really didn't factor in how much it would affect my family. But this time I told my wife, I was like, look, my teammates need me. I'm 100% doing anything they ask. And there was one weekend where I had like 8 things, that we were doing. But I was like, I made that commitment to my team because I made that commitment to our city, And that's what, I guess I'm more comfortable in, is that I get to just be me, love on the people, love on the people over the park. My kids are having baseball games. The one baseball game finished, all the other kids come run up, hanging out with them and throwing the ball to them and, signing hats. Parents getting mad because I'm signing bats and stuff, $300 bats. Like, you don't want me to sign that. You're about to go use it. But just being ingrained in the community, in our neighborhood, at our church, just loving on people. I guess that's where I'm most excited because I feel like myself more now than I did probably 12 months ago.
When you have a coordinator on the side of the ball where you play as a player, does the voluntary off-season stuff take on any additional significance, or how do you feel about that? And I ask in the context because there were like 2 veteran running backs who are not here, and yet, and there's a scheme that kind of emphasizes this outside zone run and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's your perspective on that?
Are you saying like for veteran players not being here? I'm sorry, I want
or I mean, just in general. I mean, what's your view on if there's a new coordinator on the side of the ball where I play, do the off-season voluntary stuff? Does it take on any more or any additional significance?
I got you. Yes. So Mickey, obviously made an emphasis about what winning football looks like. And DA's made that emphasis. Us as players have made that emphasis what it looks like. And during the voluntary time, we've had guys here, and I think they said it's better numbers than, I don't know what it has been, but it's better numbers, I guess. And some days you come in there at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and the weight room's packed. It's really good to see because guys are hungry. So obviously we can't do much with the coaches during certain times, but you see like veteran guys grabbing young guys, and I was getting together with other position groups, and because when I dive in, hard at it, and so teaching and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff was happening. So yeah, me as a player, like especially at quarterback, you're going to be at everything. But there's obviously some guys that get ready other ways, but I feel comfortable with whoever's not here that they're mentally going to be ready for sure, because they came in, there was a lot of work being done, and so I feel comfortable with that for sure.
And I know you've played with rookie tackles before. Is that when you kind of go into the season knowing that wherever it lands, you're going to have a rookie somewhere, is that a process that you have to kind of start earlier in terms of just that comfortability with a player that's making their NFL debut and maybe protecting the blind side?
Oh yeah, I mean, at some point there may be a player or two that they would love to have back. But I played a year where we started 2, rookie tackles, and that was a learning curve for all of us. I had to learn how to be efficient, how to stay on time, even if it wasn't perfect. And so it doesn't have to be perfect every single time, to be able to make the plays, but you understand that there's going to be a learning curve for that guy as well. But there's no worry. I mean, based on what we've seen from the guy, from Tolly, and how hard he works, and from the other young guys, I'm just excited to see those guys continue to flourish. But there's no different mindset for me as just playing. I got to do my job, listen to my feet, all that kind of stuff.
Thanks, Derek.
Good. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, Derek.
Yeah, thank you.